On the 17th of August 2022, I had a prophetic dream that I was in Nigeria and I lived with a family called the Ofemuns. Those were the days of my service and labor. Later on in Nigeria, there was a military committee in charge of the nation. They were not ruthless or mean like one would have expected. Other than the military committee, there was also a committee of civilians. Few people, including Mrs. Ofemu, whom I lived with, were part of the committee, and the committee was interim. Then while Mrs. Ofemu was teaching in a class, two members of the military committee addressed the nation, one after the other. I had a front row seat while she taught in the class, and while teaching, one of the two men from the military committee that were addressing the nation at the time called her and handed over power to her. She was to be an interim leader over the nation, and I was very happy. When she received power, she came back to sit in the row of seats behind the front row seats where I sat. Then I whispered into her ears that the military committee had bypassed a professor who at the time was vice president over the nation. Then we both chuckled. When we were done from there, I stepped out and saw her two daughters, who were friends of mine. One of them held a baby, and I had thought that they would freeze me out since I was not biologically part of their family, but I only served the family. But they smiled radiantly at me and said that we were now part of the first family of Nigeria. Then I recalled my days of service for the family. I ran errands for the mom, and my slippers even became worn out as a result. After receiving this vision, I conferred with Adams Allison, a servant of God, to decode the message the Lord has for Nigeria. The name Ofemu means he who is fearless, and it speaks of two things. First, as the woman who I served, she represents Nigeria. As he who is fearless, she represents Pastor Tunde Bakare. The two daughters represent the northern and southern parts of the nation. The newborn represents the new Nigeria. I represent the interest of God being readmitted into Nigeria as the nation begins to listen to true prophetic voices once again. The fear of being frozen out represents the fear of tribalism and disenfranchisement, and the vision reveals that there will be none. The Lord has previously spoken through Pastor Bakare about becoming the 16th president of Nigeria, and in part 1 of this Jubilee series, we shared prophetic words to confirm that word of the Lord. After the APC primaries, with 0 votes, many Nigerians concluded that it was over. But this revelation is God's way of whispering to His people how these things will come to pass. In 2023, the military shall get involved in deciding who becomes Nigeria's president. In 1993, which is 30 years before the year 2023, Pastor Bakare prophesied about the upcoming elections, and every word came to pass in Nigeria according to the word of the Lord. Those prophetic words are a shadow of what the Lord will be doing in 2023 to bring David into power.
Confusion is coming on the political setting of Nigeria. Listen to me. SDP will lose. NRC will fail, be swallowed up and cut off. But the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. By the time June is through, God would have been through. By the time June is through, God would have been through. SDP will lose. NRC will fail. The military will collapse. The Lord is taking over. The Daniels are coming into power. On one label, one was labeled SDP. The other was labeled NRC. And I saw a big fat card with the camouflage of Nigerian Army uniform. That was what he wore. And he came, he ate the first, and he ate the second, and I saw an arrow from Jehovah came and pierced the card. And I told you then, I know you don't believe it, but I'm going to decree this Sunday, and we will get back next Sunday. Why have they been unable to announce the results? Because the cat is ready to swallow. the pieces of meat. And good news, as is swallowed, so the arrow comes. Listen to me, people of God. General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida will hand over power on the 27th of August to a democratically, anointedly, prophetically elected president.
30 years after the events of 1993, God has decided to raise a David he would use to birth the new Nigeria in the person of Pastor Tunde Bakare. Let us pray that the counsel of God for Nigeria prevails even as 2023 draws near, because Nigeria is set to enter the fulfillment of past prophecies hanging over the nation like we have shared in previous parts of the Jubilee series.